Think on These Things by Krishnamurti. Main message is become a real revolutionary by learning how to think beyond the confines of culture. Krishnamurti teaches these students that the real purpose of education is not to prepare us for getting a job, but to help us understand the whole process of life. If the mind does not penetrate beyond its own barrier, Krishnamurti states there is a misery. The book expounds at length on the subject of worldly success. Our culture glorifies ambitions and achievement, and consequently we felt we must always be striving for some goal. But Krishnamurti suggests that the desire to becoming something always ends in disappointment or emptiness. It is not an intelligent way to live because it means you are always unhappy with the present, captured by envy and endless unsatisfied desire. Krishnamurti's statement, we all want to be famous people, and the moment we want to be something, we are no longer free, is the opposite of what you will see in a motivational book. It makes sense that wanting less can make you more content with what you have. He suggests that the real purpose of education is to help people identify what they love to do. Doing what you love has a double benefit. Not only you will find an uncommon level of commitment in a daily life, but your enthusiasm for the work will take care of success. Competition is only necessary when we are all aiming for a single prize, but each person must realize that the treasure is not out there, but to find within our own abilities and interest, that is intelligence. We want to make life permanent, but in doing so, we go against nature, and there lies our pain. Only the mind that is always moving without resting places and fixed ideas can be in tune with life and therefore joyful. Human beings, Krishnamurti says, dig a little pool for themselves away from the swift current of life, and in that little pool they stagnate, die, and this stagnation, this decay we call existence. The object of living is to find truth, and if we are not actively engaged in trying to get closer to the heart of things, then we are quickly dying. We think of mind as being everything, but it is not. We can enrich our life by tapping into the vast intelligence of the universe that exists beyond our brain. Paradoxically, by stopping the instant chatter of the mind, we also gain self-knowledge. Thus, not thinking, if it is done with purpose, can be the highest form of intelligence. Most of us live as mere technicians. Krishnamurti notes, we study mechanically and pass exams, get job. We learn the techniques to succeed in the society. But if we do not pay attention to the real stuff, beauty, love, peace, then we will live in what seems like a hard, fragment world. So we have the choice of being either a technician or a creator, to be less or more human. You can be creative only when there is an abandonment, which means really when there is no sense of compulsion, no fear of not being, of gaining, of not arriving. A technician can produce outcomes, but a creator, by the very nature of their being and their focus on what is important, improves the world around them. When we admit that our mind is full of greed, envy, loathing, and ambition, we create a space to be where we are not these things. That is the beginning of a free person who can draw on the wellspring of creativity that lie outside the thinking mind. Because we are people who strive to achieve things, we also believe that happiness is something we can seek. But as Krishnamurti rightly points out, happiness can be found in a byproduct of a meaningful and occur in the absence of fear. It does not result from achievement and ambition. Life is in the moments when we hardly concerned with these things, when we are lost in a task or feel part of the environment around us. To even think or speak of happiness indicates that we are not one with its source. At root, unhappiness comes from lack of love or the distance between ourselves and other. Love is the most practical things in the world. Great love is great intelligence because it recognizes that ultimately love is the only thing that matters. Krishnamurti book was written years before it became fashionable to exhort people to do what they love doing instead of doing job for security's sake. He also understood our celebrity culture in which everyone wants to be someone else, to be famous, and the resulting misery it causes. This book gets you to ask yourself, am I just a technician of life or a creator?